Hi everyone, it's Jerry. I'm on chess.com and I just got paired up playing a 3-2 game. Okay, let's start out with e4 and we're going to have Caro-Kann clearly. I like going for the exchange variation, so let's start with this. And I'm going to play it in a way where I restrict their light square bishop. So that's why first bishop d3 and on knight to f6, h3. So they could still play bishop to f5. I've seen this idea before with g6, bishop f5. Let's see. Let's start first with knight f3. And I'm going to delay castling because I have an idea in mind with playing g4. Let's see. I could damage their structure. It's not really that big of a deal. This is their good bishop. Yeah, let's go straight in for it and play bishop to f4. I don't know if this is so great. I know I've reviewed this before with the computer, but I'm not recalling the variations. So knight e5. Yeah, let's go knight to e5 right now. I'm neglecting development with this move, clearly. But I want to be able to pivot on the d3 square. Okay, they're putting immediate pressure on the g file, so they're not going to castle kingside. I wonder if I could still just castle kingside. I know I'm going right into the line of fire. I'm not sure. This knight's going to be a bother when he gets into f4. Yeah, maybe I should go queenside. Let's start out with this, g3. I really don't want to devote a piece to defending my g-pawn. I'm already thinking about castling queenside, so okay, they go in for an immediate exchange there. That's a bit of a bug. I think I need to challenge that knight right away. He's in my position, try and get rid of him. He's not easily kicked away, though. You know, I can't play f3 because I dropped g3. Really didn't get anything out of this opening. They played a very quick bishop to f5. I was more used to seeing it after, like, let's say a bishop g7 in castles. So, to take the knight or the bishop, let's take, helping them to develop, but, maybe, can I work around that knight? Knight to f3, I'm going to try to work around that knight, I guess. They could force my hand eventually. They could defend the e5 square with f6, but that weakens the e6 square. My plan here is just to complete development. Queen e2, queenside castle. Expecting a queen move here. Queen b6, queen e2. Shouldn't be any bother. Okay, so I'm going to have to do that. Are there going to be sacrifices on g3? We're going to see. On f4, I'm prepared to meet that with g4. Okay, and I think I need to get castled real soon. I'm expecting these two moves. I'm within striking distance now. Or, this knight is within checking distance is what I meant. And I think I need to overprotect c3 because of sacrifices and then ensuing forks. So, maybe a knight maneuver with knight e1 into d3. I should probably get out of this pin. Knight e1 to d3. h5 might be a move, so that on f4 I can't play g4, although this isn't supported enough just yet. Am I tactically vulnerable with knight to e1? My rooks are disconnected for just one move. I don't think so. Am I missing anything? Let's sneak that in. There might be sacrifices soon happening on the c3 square. This knight is still a great bother. He cannot be kicked with f3. I don't think there's any sacrifices working on c3 just yet. Now I could think about moves like g4 and then f3, although no. Knight here, whether he's taking a pawn or he's landing a fork. But I could still start with g4. My knight's in a good spot. If this knight moves, I have knight c5. And then maybe there might be ideas of knight c5 and b3 if this knight is no longer around, putting pressure on c3. Okay, they've officially have every piece hitting the c3 pawn. Preparing rook to a4 maybe. Okay. That's a bit tricky. Let's start with this. I think I want to maybe play rook b4. Or, excuse me, knight b4 on rook to a4. Just thinking rook c1 first. Let's do this. I know I'm crawling up into a ball. Could still think, no, I can't do this move anymore. I think I have to do this. Less than 10 seconds. They have all these all these major pieces coming right at me here. I still want to get this in. Now I'm finally ready to kick the knight. Sacrifices on this square? I have lateral defense with my queen. We're going to see. I don't have time to calculate it. I could have considered this. Maybe I should do this right now, actually. Yeah, let's try this. Throw in some aggressive move, right? Maybe king a2 and then b3 is an idea. Let's see where the rook goes. f3? f3, rook b6, king a2. Let's do this. Threatening b3, maybe. f3, I could take and then f3. Let's take first. Get that knight out of there, finally. Knight here, I could take this pawn. I'm not going to, though. Probably should have moved forward. I'm expecting f4. Need to get rid of this pawn. Queen here. No, my knight needs this square. Let's get over here. Oh, I should have put immediate pressure on this pawn. Okay, I'm putting pressure here now. I think I have my kingside defended. I want to maybe just pile up on this pawn. Try and win this guy. Major piece ending alone should be good. Okay, it's simplifying. I welcome more exchanges. Oof. Gotta crawl up into a ball. Queen b3 happening. Stay out of pins. Stay off of the b file. Defend my back rank. Let's not blunder a rook. This is big trouble. I want to trade queens. Not easy. How can I get my queen active? I guess here, queen d6, maybe the very first active move. Queen d6 it is, although I don't even know what I'm threatening. I could just take the f-pawn. Take here. And then play here. Think I have everything defended? Barely. My queen is actually central. Let's start with this, I guess. And then this is a passed pawn, so maybe get him pushing. Yeah, let's keep going. I have to watch this diagonal here. Let's throw this check in. I want to take the a-pawn with check. I was able to do that. Not here just yet, because my queen is unprotected. Okay. Let's give some more checks. Take this pawn with check. And now advance. Okay, so this is, I finally think I know how to win this. I have this diagonal check covered, or this open diagonal covered. Queen e7, just trading queens. And then pushing away. Okay, they resigned. Let me step away from this. Let me check it out with the computer. I'm pretty sure there's a tactic that my opponent could have had here. And they just missed it. And that was very, very stressful. But yeah, let me bring up Stockfish and we'll see what it has to say on this one. Okay, let's see where there are some improvements. I got 0 out of the opening. In fact, I believe my opponent, there was a quick transition with, went beyond equal. My opponent quickly equalized and then I think had a slight advantage. And we'll see where there were some tactics missed. Is there any other move being suggested here? It likes bishop takes bishop within the follow-up. Okay, bishop f4. e6. How could I have done something different? Because it didn't feel too good. It's pressure on the g file, and the knight on that e4 square was a great bother. Okay, it's still around evenish. It prefers queen b3 here with queen b6. I would have been happy to see that. Right? Could I get away with this? Actually, maybe I'm not even in time to prevent this undoubling move b4. Yeah, I'm not quite there. Wouldn't queen d7 be fine? Yeah. This knight is a little bit loose, so on this move, knight takes, bishop takes. It's not a great bother. This is a fine structure. I have some experience with this in over the board play, not just blitz play, but these doubled f pawns in the half open g file. Very solid structure. Usually this pawn is still on this square, but see all the more. Well, I think it's even better having the pawn on d5 than c6 in this case. Strong grip over the e4 square. But okay, queen b3 instead. I played knight e5. It wants to castle. Okay. Yeah, I didn't castle, so this is probably where there's going to be a pretty good shift. g3, no, nothing so wrong with that. Still pretty evenish. Knight there. Yeah, it's slightly better for black. Not by much. Okay, where were their tactics missed? Okay, pretty even position. Nothing missed so far, but I imagine when both their rooks, their queen and knight were breathing down my king's neck here, there was something missed. So let's see where there was some tactical shot. Ooh, queen takes d4 right here. And I was even pointing it out. Are there any tactics if my knight goes here and my rooks are disconnected for just a moment? There is. Knight e1, queen takes d4. Yeah. Okay, so queen takes d4. We both missed that. Knight d3, and now it's back to pretty even. We both have really nicely placed knights. I'd maybe give the nod to my knight over this one, as he's not so easily kicked from the d3 square. It takes forever to get this knight out of here, though. Gotta move the rook to get out of these forks. I gotta move my g-pawn, and then finally f3. Once I did manage that, I thought I was the better side here, so it's actually liking white all of a sudden. It likes e5 here for black. I think at this point black was probably, and I would be too. They're just content with keeping the pawn structure as is. Just playing with pieces, in other words, is black right now. So e5 maybe just didn't even come to mind. And then we have a3. Yeah, for a second I was thinking I could play this, but yeah, c3 is hit still 3 times. Queen, rook, and knight. Still has it as even. Why is that? Rook takes f3. Oh, that's a tough move to make. The knee-jerk reaction is just to take back, but it's losing the farm. Ouch. Yeah, okay, so I played a3, and it's liking white here now. It's certainly under a lot of pressure. f3 right away. Did not consider that. I played g4, nothing wrong with that. On f3, knight takes. Queen e1. Ah, yeah. And on knight here, queen h4. Okay, I didn't have time to think of that stuff, but the big thing here is that this knight is really a super piece. If I didn't get him here in time, I imagine there would have been some tactical shot that black would have against my king position. But he's really just an enormous piece. These pivot points b4 and c4, sometimes e5, although it's taken away right now. f4 is another nice forward move, throwing nice punches in some way. So got g4 in, threw in knight b4. It is liking the white side. Takes. Finally the knight is kicked. Queen d2 instead. Still holding an advantage. Likes b3 here, winning the exchange. I didn't even see that. Huh. Okay. Rook e1 instead. Knight d3. And I'm still holding something here. I'm getting that material. And in this major piece ending alone, was there any tactic missed? Crawling up into a ball once again. And still holding an advantage. This major piece ending, and now I'm winning with this very variation. It's a mate in 9. Oh, why didn't I consider just taking, or giving a check here? Yeah. Queen c5, it's a mate in 9 already. b6, rook e7, etc. Okay, I just took the pawn. I think the quick thought that I had here was, okay, this rook d1 move is going to be played, and we're going to be into a queen ending alone, and I wanted to overprotect this diagonal. So I don't know that I let it slip even in this ending, even though I didn't get that mate. But yeah, this is holding. So aside, I guess, from the that tactical shot for that one moment with what was that point here with queen d4? As soon as I did that knight reposition, there was one tactical shot that black had there. But apparently this was holding. Again, this is a very good square to be made aware of for a knight. Again, queen takes d4 here was the... Well, still having it as about evenish. This knight coming into d3 still. Once the knight is kicked, e6 is maybe an issue as well. But yeah, that was one tactic that black had. The knight on d3 is a super, super piece. Right behind this pawn, excellent pivot squares. And he did a good job, clearly holding... I think he prevented a lot of the tactics that would have been available against the kingside, being on this d3 square. But anyhow, feel free to leave any comments in the comment section below to this video. And as always, I hope you got something out of it. That's all for now. Take care. Bye.